So we want to take this very abstract, very at the macro level idea and kind of bring it down to the very micro level, at the local level where it really matters. I think that local politics are really important in everyday people's lives because, I mean, we decide taxes and we decide cost of living and we decide a lot of things. So local politics affects people more so than, of course, these very high-level politics. But when we heard about the Green New Deal, we jumped on it, obviously, because the Green New Deal is congruent to our beliefs, to our philosophical beliefs. It is congruent to how we see the world. And there's a premise that we believe that it's not only about economics, but it's about this very social justice-oriented piece.
For an example, going back to the budgeting, at the Green New Deal, the San Marcos Green New Deal Public Forum, I helped people come together and help determine how much, as an example, just to show them that they can help determine what their local budget is. And then that local budget can be brought up to the politicians, and the politicians will have that in paper of what they want, what the people actually want. So it's the people giving the politicians the orders of the budget instead of the politicians having closed door meetings. We see on the I-35 corridor, we see gentrification, we see poor people and working class people getting displaced more and more and more, right? And then those poor and working class people tend to be Black and brown communities, right? So I would attack the infrastructure that lets these out of town, really, really rich people come in and develop and grow for us. We also need to talk about what this growth is. Like everyone says, oh, our city's growing, it's amazing. How much growth do we need until it just is hurting us?
I think developers have to understand how this process is going to work, and they have to understand that they might not see their initial growth or what their projections are hoping for, what they're wanting to do within revenues, obviously. But I think at the end of the day, they have to truly understand that it's about the community first. And I think that we're going to see a lot of growth eventually over time. It's not going to be an instant type of thing, but it's going to happen.
Right.
And we have to play with that. And the main thing is gentrification. We're seeing that San Marcos is being heavily impacted by that a lot.
Yes, enrollment is up, but retention is down, persistence is down from year 1 to year 2, and from semester 1 to semester 2, because students are going back home. They cannot afford to stay in San Marcos. They cannot afford their rent. They cannot afford their tuition. So they go back home to their home colleges. They go to community colleges. They're not staying in San Marcos. And I remember my boss, my dean, he would always come and tell me, Hoka, our numbers are down. What can we do? Our students are not coming back. And I said, wow, developers in the town are presenting us a different story to the city council and saying this is why we need more apartments, but in reality, we don't.
Capping, I don't know. I think that's just limits to what students can achieve here. So I would never want to limit an opportunity to a student from another small town in Texas or somebody far away that wants to pursue their education, and maybe this was their only opportunity, but we capped enrollment, so that's no longer viability, a feasible option for them to continue their education growth, because education should never be stumped or stopped by anybody. If they have the opportunity or they have the qualifications to go to university, come here to Texas State University, and they missed it because we capped enrollment, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. With a new Green Deal like this, they hope to address that sort of issue more, obviously more economic growth comes in, and they reallocate those economic growths to helping invest into the youth. because the youth is the next generation. If we're not helping a high school, kid who wants to go to college or can't go to college, then let's give them the tools to actually do something outside of high school, and so they don't get stuck.
We have a lot of tourists, a lot of people just constantly going to the river, especially in the summertime. Yeah. So I say a lot of policies around that.
Yeah.
And I also say like the homeless policies that we have, anything that deals with the people that we see.
I think if we could find a way to do it where it doesn't cost so much money, it would be great. It would definitely be worth doing, but it's just too expensive right now.
Right.